Now, let me be fair. Roast comedy is brutal, and Tony Hinchcliffe's whole brand is harsh, offensive, uncomfortable comedy. Cool. That's his lane. He should fucking stay there, right? But having a lane does not mean every turn is justified. If your brand is I say the thing nobody else will say, then eventually you still have to answer one question. Was the thing worth saying? Because bold is not automatically brilliant, and cruel is not automatically honest, and offensive is not automatically funny, and controversial is not automatically important. Some people confuse backlash with proof that they are right. No, sir. Sometimes backlash is proof that people heard you clearly and still said no. Now, let's talk about Kevin Hart's position in all of this. Kevin was the person being roasted, not the person who said the line. But because the joke was framed around the Black community being proud of Kevin, it placed Kevin inside a racial joke that used George Floyd's death as the punchline. That creates a strange burden in itself because, see, now people look at Kevin's reaction. Did he laugh? Did he cringe? Did he ignore it? Did he respond later? Hell, has he responded, y'all? And that is not entirely fair because in the moment on stage at a roast, people are expected to just sit there and take it. But it is also understandable why people, us, the public, watch the room, because when Black pain becomes a joke, people naturally look around and ask, who the fuck laughed? Who checked it? Who let it pass? That is the uncomfortable part for us as Black people. And that is why these jokes are not just jokes, people. They create moments where everyone's reaction becomes a part of the story. Now, for the people who say George Floyd is not above jokes, let's slow down, okay? Slow down before I drag you under the table. This is not about saying any person or event is permanently untouchable. This is about context, construction, and purpose. What was the purpose of the damn joke? What did it reveal? Who was being roasted and who paid the price for the laugh? Because George Floyd is not or was not in the room. He was not a celebrity participant who agreed to be roasted. He was not part of the event. His family did not sign up for that. His death was not Kevin Hart's scandal to joke about. So why was his final breath brought into it? For shock. And that is why people are angry. Now, let me say this in plain language, because writing and speaking in plain language, that is my fucking expertise. Okay? A joke about racism can be funny. A racist joke can be funny to some people. A joke about racial trauma can be powerful if done correctly. But a joke that uses racial trauma without care, without purpose, and without a real target beyond the victim, that deserves criticism, my friends. And people should not be ashamed for saying so. Now, we must address the defenders of this shit, because here they come in my comment section. They joke about everybody smell the roses. They said worse things about other people smell the roses. It's a roast, smell the roses. You people are just too sensitive. You cannot handle comedy. First of all, who is you people? Let's start right there. Second, being able to handle comedy doesn't mean shutting off your brain. It means you can laugh and still analyze something. It means you can enjoy edgy humor and still know when something was beneath the standard. Hello. It means you can believe comedians should have freedom and still believe audiences have discernment. That is not softness. That is judgment. And some jokes deserve judgment. The idea that the only real comedy fans are the ones who laugh at everything is ridiculous. A good audience is not obedient. A good audience they know when the punchline was earned, and this one was not. Now, let's make the courtroom ruling here, okay? Because I'm going to have a little fun with this, because I'm a paralegal, and for you naysayers that are going to come into my comment section, I want it to be clear what I have a problem with. Count 1, lazy writing, because I am a writer editor. They are fucking guilty because the joke leaned on the most obvious phrase attached to George Floyd's death. That is not clever. That is not layered. That is not surgical. That is a bumper sticker humor shock fucking thing that y'all need to stop. Count 2, exploiting Black trauma. They are guilty. Netflix is guilty. Tony Hinchcliffe is guilty. All those white people that laughed about this poorly done joke, guilty, because the joke took a real death, a public trauma, and used it as a punchline in a roast that was not about George Floyd. There. Count 3, hiding behind, it's just comedy, smell the roses. Guilty with an eye roll, bitch, because comedy is not a magical force field. Once you put the joke out, people get to respond. Period. Count 4, confusing outrage with artistry, guilty, because making people gasp is easy. Making people laugh at something painful without making the pain feel disposable, that actually takes talent. And for the internet defenders, you are sentenced to stop using the word roast as a blanket excuse for every lazy, harmful line that gets said on a stage. A roast is a roast, but a bad joke is still a bad joke.